Got myself a new friend here. Another bird flying in the house. Yeah, bud, you gotta stay outside. It's much nicer here. Be free. Day, and I really cleaned up around this this shrine. This kind of true detective shrine here.
I like. Fine.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Rocky Fortune.
Cheese on top.
Yeah.
The John Deere is a ferocious animal. Good morning. Got another package today. Not as big as it seems, because there's going to be a smaller one in there. But another fast delivery by Amazon. I've been eyeing this a week before I bought it. Now, I've done more than a few time lapses in the past with egg timer style rotators. I lost my first one, which was a really good one actually, in Indonesia. I forgot it at a spot, just like I once forgot my time-lapse remote control on the west coast of New Zealand. The other one that I got after from eBay just broke. But this little thing, I want to take it a step further and combine time-lapse and combine panning into one device. And what this does is rotate it with a little built-in engine any direction you want. You can set the speeds, and in a time frame of an hour, wow, it's even bigger than I expected it to be. It was going to be bigger, but here you go, a big sturdy device. So you can do the traditional time lapse of 60 minutes and it's real slow, or you can make a slow panning for video, which is something I've been wanting to do. 2 evenings ago, it would have been great to have this one because it was a crazy red sky with different cloud layers. And you can just set the camera and make it pan, aimed at the sky. And that's not all. I forgot about this. I snapped one of George's drifts, just like about 5 mil of it, of a tip. So I ordered a new one on Amazon, but I had no idea, really size-wise, what I was looking for or really paying attention. You get this massive drift. The one that I broke was about this size, but now he has a pretty epic drift, I must say. Here we are today with the BOANO rally fairing here on the bench to get some work done on it. First of all, got some good news in regards to the camera. We got the microphone back. I've received another cable from China, and everything is working properly again now, and I'm pretty stoked about that. And I think I'll order another 5 or 10 of those from where they came from, so I'll be solid once the trip continues to the next place. But it has been a few slow days now. We're really gearing up now to get to the point to weld that frame back together again. I think it might actually happen somewhere this week. And once that is done, we can really kick off in fifth gear with the project and start making a sprint towards the end. Right now here I got the BOANO rally fairing, which comes, you know, in a bit of a state. It needs quite some work, and some people can get a bit surprised, caught off guard by that, which I can understand. But you can definitely see that there's areas that need work on the fairing, and quite some. Because, you know, you got bits like this here. You got the carbon fiber still sticking out, which I'll be cutting. So I got a proper knife for it. Nice fresh knife you see here. All the fiber. That all needs filler. Need to get my hands on that carbon fiber. But a lot of impurities, a lot of dents. And I think if you don't expect it, when you order one of these, it will come as a very unpleasant surprise. But when I ordered it from Rugged Roads, they already let me know, look man, this is going to need some work. And I said, fine. And in the end, the work done on this fairing should definitely be worth it. And we'll get a real nice result. So you got here a nice sharp knife. And what I want to do for today is cut away all the excess fibers that are in the way. What's up, Isaac?
What's up, man?
You keeping that quad upright, son?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
I don't know that sideways rolling over bullshit.
Isaac had a bit of a situation this morning, but he's still standing.
Just.
Now, from what I understood, dealing with carbon fiber can, you have to be careful. Well, I'm not sure if this is also the case when you're cutting the threads, but you know, that's still carbon fiber, so I figured I'll put on the mask. But I don't know if that's too much caution working with this, or you only have to worry about it when you're really cutting into it and you have carbon fiber dust. But just in case, we'll do it this way. It's not as straightforward as I expected it to be to get this stuff out. The shorter bits are actually pretty tough to, this is easy, but the shorter bits are harder to get rid of.
Hold up.
Hello, Pedro de la Mota.
So that was a bit of an interval of 2 days. I was working on this, not finished. Going to be doing something else now, which is pretty exciting stuff. Finally, as I'm bringing out the frame again, and not just that, also bringing out the swing arm. It's time for joining Unity again. So the last few days haven't been very productive. We had more than a few people over, get a couple of barbecues, and also the project gotten to a point where there's only little things to do, nothing for me to really latch onto that was in my control, and you know, that kind of sucks. What also sucks is that it just really hit me now after a month and a half. Haven't had my own vehicle, don't have my own transportation, can go wherever I want. While for the last 3 years, I could do just that. So maybe that got to me after a while, you know. I think a man is supposed to have his own transport, his own means to get around. Just for a bit there, really felt like my wings were clipped. And other than that, you know, as I know what kind of project I got myself into now, and already knew earlier that it was a pretty sizable project. After a while, I just really realized that it's quite a big project to take on while being so isolated, relatively isolated, far away from a place where you can go to sort things out instantly, like the city, combined with not having your own transport, while the project is a little bit getting away from me, made for a few days of lackluster project ability. But that's going to be of the past again. What I'm going to do here is hook up the swing arm back to the frame and put the engine back in, because real soon we might actually finally get to welding the frame into one nice piece again. So let's get back at it. We had a barbecue and a couple of the guys made a fire on the piece of orb on the concrete, which started to bounce around as the fire got real hot. So we've got a bit of a war zone situation here now. It's great to have directional audio again, because that mic is picking that up nice and clean. So I'll get those bearings in and the seals, then we can put the swing arm there. About an hour to do this, because I'm gonna help George with something else, work on a car somewhere. This is how bearings are born. Four beautiful baby bearings. So I didn't want to take too long on this job, because we've got to do some other things later on. First, completely overlooked the fact that you might need to put the bearings back in, but I just realized that you don't really have to for what we're trying to do here, which is put the swing arm back with the engine so we can weld the frame back with the bracket properly. So it just sticks in here, just sits in there, and it sits in the engine, and then sure, the swing arm will hang, but the spacing in between that we need to have the engine in the right position will be there, so that's okay. Now I'm just going to focus on putting the swing arm on there with the engine. Come on, big boy. Let's put the covers back on. With those. I reckon somewhere in a week or two we'll be putting this on for reals. Now looking at that engine cover, you know, the damage on there, I could use some work too. But that's a problem with this whole project. As it just keeps going, you see these things. It's like, oh, it would be nice if that was sorted too. Where does it end? Where does it stop? A restoration was never the plan, but as you add better parts and spruce up some areas, you naturally want other parts to look good too. There we go, that shall do. Next up, oh, you can look at this rusty drive shaft. never really... Nah, could it be? I'm just thinking if this looks like rust or not. It's copper, right? Know if that can rust or if this looking normal. That's just been in the open air for a couple of months now. Woo! Magnets! Let's get this puppy on there. These. I know I got a new case nut, but maybe we should just keep the old one. Give it a bit of a Mad Max feel to it. Right. I was looking for some of my flower pots and something fell through the bottom into there. Lucky me. Sweet. This is probably the most toxic mix we have around here. Everything's in here. Mmm, finger licking good. Put in the old caps. Swingarm. So I'll just lift it. And I'll lift the engine up from here. Straighten it out. Yep. Yeah. That's looking pretty good. You alright there? Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep, just. Alright, it's out of that side now. Yep. Okay, it's on the other side now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet. Good man.
In the line.
Ready for something special tomorrow.
Ready. I can see the engine soon running.